Some days, it was a sunrise so bold and golden, it didn't seem real. Another, it was a bottle of champagne a young mom handed me near the edge of Crater Lake. The next, discovering a cooler someone had left out near the edge of lava fields in southern Oregon, filled with the makings of root beer floats. These were moments I experienced as a backpacker on the Pacific Crest Trail, and moments that I quickly learned hikers dubbed trail magic. These were moments that connected me to natural beauty and to the new friends that I was hiking with. Moments that brought me into the present and sparked a grateful, deep breath. Yes, I have hundreds of brutal miles ahead of me, but right now, I'm thankful for this moment. When I came off the trail and returned to my laptop, I wondered, could I find the same feeling surrounded by responsibilities and the daily grind? Could this feeling be scaled across spaces, communities, and careers? Figuring this out is important because a lot of us here are trying to solve hard problems. For me, that's solving climate change. But whether we're solving a structural problem or just taking on the challenges of life, it can be an emotional, exhausting slog that requires a touch of this magic to get through. Today, I want to share with you, first, the elements that make up trail magic and the positive psychology behind this feeling. Second, why trail magic isn't just for hikers. And third, how we can create more of this for ourselves and for others. This curious phenomenon has its roots in America's oldest backpacking communities. Every year since the 1950s, hundreds of backpackers have trekked 2,600 miles from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail, the PCT. For 4 months, they hike 30 miles a day across snowpacks, deserts, and towns. My sister was crazy enough to do this, and I was crazy enough to follow her for a month. For us, this adventure meant long days and endless blisters. It meant eating cold mashed potatoes and tuna on repeat. It meant weathering injuries and hitchhiking into towns. But I quickly noticed that amidst these challenging lows, hikers made the most of the highs. They received any beautiful moment in nature or unexpected act of kindness with a heightened sense of wonder and gratitude, trail magic. One moment while I was hiking captured the essence of this. It was somewhere in the timberline wilderness, and we were up at 4 and hiking by 5 a.m. with headlamps and a plan to hike 27 miles that day. But around 1 p.m., we stumbled upon a middle-aged couple grilling by the trail. Instead of powering on, we spent hours in the present, eating burgers and hearing about their retirement plans. This experience had the 4 hallmarks of trail magic. It connected me to others. It shifted my perspective into the present. It sparked gratitude, and it surprised me. Connection, perspective, gratitude, and surprise. This magic may sound ephemeral, but it's actually neurological. Trail magic is built on gratitude, which researchers from UCLA and UPenn have proven increases serotonin, dopamine, and pro-social behavior. In short, the appreciation of trail magic makes us happy. It sparks a jolt of neurotransmitters which increase our well-being and our empathy. Surprisingly, trail magic also changes our perception of time. How many of you have felt like your time is precious or in short supply? See some nods, and same. And we're not alone. According to a recent Gallup poll of 1,000 Americans, almost half felt that they lacked enough time in daily life. The good news is that researchers have found that experiencing awe changes our perception of time. Both awe and trail magic are characterized by a wonder and gratitude that brings perspective. And as we shift into the present, psychologically, time stretches. It makes us feel like we have more time available. Some of you are saying, I love the outdoors, I'll look for this next time I'm there. But I bet a few of you are thinking, I am the opposite of outdoorsy. C'est la vie, no magic for me. But I disagree. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, the average American spends 93% of her time indoors or in a car. But we can find trail magic during our time outside and during all of this time inside. When I finished my 500th mile, my dad picked me up on the side of the highway. The dirt had bled permanently into the white trim of my black running shorts. Muscles I didn't know I had were sore, but I was radiant. I felt strong having completed a section of the PCT and privileged to have that opportunity. I felt more connected than ever to the Oregon landscape and to the crazier hikers with crazier names that I had met along the way. Fancy Mac, MacGyver, Coconut. Blasting oldies and flying down I-5, I saw the bars grow on the edge of my phone as we came back into service range. As I went to call my partner, Alex, a text came through. Can we talk? And I knew. The car at 70 miles per hour stood still, and my heart froze as my mind spun into a kaleidoscope of the pain and hospital appointments coming for the person I loved the most. His cancer was back. The levity and perspective I'd felt earlier that very morning seemed as distant as the Oregon Cascades in our rearview mirror. Trail magic felt ephemeral and rapidly evaporating. But over the next year, I was surprised to find it again. In the friendship that we built with our nurse, Dana. In the time the hospital snacks spontaneously upgraded to graham crackers. In saving our favorite show to watch every week during Alex's treatment. Being open to these small moments of magic and holding on tight gave us a mini umbrella in the rain and the energy to take on the next year. What I'm saying is that I found trail magic off the trail, and it was powerful. A temporary antidote to worrying about the future. A pause in relentless productivity. A celebration in miniature of what matters. I remember when I was a kid and Disney was gospel and I embraced magic like my best friend. Someone told me, you have the power to fly, just jump, and I did. But actually, my sister told me that if I jumped out of a tree with an umbrella, I could float just like Jiminy Cricket. So I jumped, and the ground came fast. As I grew up, I learned skepticism and injustice. Believing in magic felt indulgent next to so many adult worries and systems to dismantle. And as a productive professional, I didn't have time for it. But I missed that self that found wonder in everything and delight in the small things. I'm asking us to be open once again to that feeling of magic, specifically the connection, perspective, gratitude, and surprise of trail magic. Surprising ourselves is tricky, but I'll give a few tactical ideas for how we can discover this phenomenon more often for ourselves. First, celebrate those small moments, the unexpected burgers or the hospital snacks. Second, take a risk and initiate a new connection. Maybe it's in a Zoom chat or an Uber or the checkout line of a grocery store. I have to say that after a few years in consulting, I'd forgotten some of this. I used to fly every week for work, and I remember using every second on the plane to fervently make slides, the pinnacle of efficiency. But one Monday, mid-flight, my laptop battery died, and I looked up. I started chatting with my seatmate, a Hawaiian volcanologist. 2 hours later, I had learned basic volcanic geology and the names of her kids, Jennifer and Sam. So the secret to finding trail magic more often for yourselves: celebrate the small moments and channel your 6-year-old point of view. At this point, a few of the entrepreneurs in the audience might be asking themselves, so can this idea scale? And the answer is absolutely and exponentially. We can amplify trail magic by creating it for others. I already see this happening in our community, and I would love to see it happen more. One friend Venmoed me money for a drink while I was on vacation, just because. Another wrote holiday notes to her favorite baristas. Trail magic doesn't have to be complicated, or expensive, just unexpected and compassionate. The possibilities are endless, but I'll share a few of my favorites. If a friend mentions an important date that's coming up, put a reminder on your calendar to reach out then. Treat the person behind you in line at Coupa to coffee. Professionally, unprompted, think of 2 people in your network with shared interests that you think would hit it off. Let's make this common practice, starting today. Think of a gesture. Have a root beer float. Sometimes, grab your umbrella and your 6-year-old point of view. The world will be a bit more magical because you did.